All right, so we're living in a bizarre world where people don't see the truth.
But apparently, I'm wrong. Apparently, fat guys are hotter than jacked and fit men. Coach Greg and I'm going to be debating what was on the Jubilee show, of which I was a part of, and here's the question. Imagine not agreeing with this.
Jacked men are more attractive than fat men.
To me, that's like saying a 10 out of 10 supermodel is more attractive than a 1 out of 10. Well, obviously, but apparently I'm wrong. Apparently, fat guys are hotter than jacked and fit men.
All right, so we're living in a bizarre world where people don't see the truth. Like, how is it possible that they're thinking, no, being obese and unhealthy is more attractive than being fit and healthy?
And so, shocker, the 4 fat guys sit there and act as if there's no difference. Hey, we're living in some bizarre world where girls all love dad bods. Or better yet, guys who are 400 or 500 pounds because looks don't matter. It's the personality that counts. We just like really nice men. We don't want hot guys that work out, that train harder than last time, that have great jobs or have money, that have a successful career. Why would we want that? We don't judge a book by its cover. And why do you think that is? Because people lie. When you put a camera on someone, the mic in their face and say, hey, do you think that looks really matter all that much? Or are you going to date the really nice guy that treats you well? Yeah, I'll date the nice guy that treats me well. Bull freaking shit, you won't. You're saying that for the camera. And then when that guy asks you out, he's ghosted. That is why 80% of the men on dating sites women see as below average looking. How is it possible that 80% of something is below average? By definition, below average is below 50%. But yet they say 80% of men are below average looking. Makes no sense, but that's how they feel. And so if you're morbidly obese and you think you're hot, that you're as attractive as somebody who's fit and shape, takes care of themselves, you're delusional.
Because a lot of guys think this way, oh, I just be a nice guy and girls are going to like me. No, they're not. She's not going to suck your dick with the same veracity when you're a fat fuck as when you're in shape.
There's no way she's putting in the same effort when you're 600 pounds. As if she could even find it. Get with the program.
There might be 1% of the world that there's something wrong with them that might think that, yeah, you're 600 pounds, it's so hot, I love that. But
yeah, there's obviously exceptions to the rule. There's some strange people out there that like anything. Oh, you're 800 pounds. I love that. That's so attractive. Yeah, sure. There's probably girls out there that like guys who are 5'6" tall. But for the most part, they're wanting the tall guys. You 6'5" and good looking, 6 foot, 6 figures, and 6 inches. Well, in 2024, we're up to 7. 7 feet tall, 7 inches, 7 figures. This is what women want.
Because the question was, are jacked men more attractive? We all walked over. Are we more attracted to jacked men?
Yeah.
If I had to switch teams, I'm not going for men who weigh 600 pounds. Fitter is more attractive. How can it not be? Think of it. Healthy at every size is complete bullshit. It's utter nonsense. They're just saying this because it sounds cool. You're woke. It's politically correct. The truth, the reality is you are embarrassed to tell the truth. You're scared that people are going to judge you. And so when you're overly nice, when you say everything you think they want you to say, you're not being your true, authentic self.
I think attraction is very fluid in the sense that I can 100% admit, like, there was probably 40 pounds of muscle ago is when most women would be like, attract to me.
40 pounds ago, Eric was still 240 pounds. Guy's 6 foot, 240 with a 6-pack. And so even with 40 pounds less muscle, Eric is still, by definition, a massively jacked individual. And so yes, jacked, fit is better looking than fat.
If you put Zach and Greg and you put them next to each other and you did a poll, I think that most women would probably pick him. What would you guys say to that?
no.
And so no, if you're going to compare Coach Greg and this guy with everything being equal, are you going to pick the guy who has a wife and child, or the guy who's a multi-millionaire with millions of followers that's in fact fitter than freaking last time? Most people are going to pick the guy who's single with millions of dollars, is confident, has millions of followers. But let's take that out of the equation. Me versus him. The guy's 6'6", I'm 5'6". What is one of the most important qualities women look for in a man? Height. I don't have it. I'm missing that. But I make up for it with size that you can't see in other areas. like my wallet or perhaps my downstairs. But if we have to make the fair comparison, let's say he does get more women after him than me. We're not comparing apples to apples. He's a 6'6", perhaps 30-year-old plus-size model. I'm 48. Let's make it equal. Let's look at him at 48 years of age, and let's shrink him down by a foot. Who is now more attractive?
Well, you're comparing apples to oranges, but if you take the same guy, same height, etc., but one guy is fat, one guy's in good shape, she's always going to go with the guy that's in better shape.
And so picture it. You're 6'6" tall, perhaps you're 350 pounds. You lose 50 pounds. Do you not think you're now more attractive? Do you not think that attraction level is going to be enhanced by going to the gym, working out, getting fit? Why do you think millions of people go to the gym? Do you think it's so that they can look less attractive? Hey, I'm going to the gym. Why? Oh, I want to get wider shoulders, a smaller waist. I want to see my abs a little bit. You know, I really want to look less attractive. No, that's not how it works.
Because I've been so surprised to see on Instagram, there'll be like guys doing like an outfit try on, like not in shape in the slightest bit. And all the comments are women like, I wish like men knew this is how we wish they looked.
Remember the show House, the Doctor? Everybody lies. And so when people say, I love the dad bod, they don't actually love it. They might be convincing themselves they love it because they can't get anybody better. Same thing when women say, I'm choosing to be single. I like being single. No, you don't. You just don't like your options. If the right man came along, you're not passing him up. You are choosing to be single because you haven't found someone that's up to your standards. And so perhaps the reason for that is you're not good enough. You ever think of that? You ever look at yourself in the mirror? What exactly do you bring to the table? Oh, I am the table. Really? You're the table. Really? You bring your personality. You best be bringing something else.
Is being jacked the most important trait for being attractive? I'd argue for guys, it'd probably be otherwise, right? I think height would be a bigger
Money, height, fame.
Yeah, and so we're not saying that being jacked is the only thing that matters. No one said that. No one's saying that, oh, just because you're jacked, you're automatically hotter than everyone else. No, we obviously know that you need to have money, you need to have height, you need to have a career, you need to have charisma, you need to have confidence, you need to dress well. There's so many factors. But it's obviously one of them. And so with all things being equal, if you bring to the table a jacked and fit physique versus a fat one, you are going to be more attractive.
What is the most attractive, in your opinion, physique for a man?
Okay, I'm speaking from like what women find attractive. So when I speak, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
anybody
sexually fluid.
And so if he goes to a bar or he joins Tinder and he's looking for a female, in particular women, I don't know what men want. I'm telling you, he's going to have a very hard time. It's not going to be easier than last time.
I'm attracted to people in general. So you could be jacked, you could be more plus size, you could be skinny, you could be whatever it is that you are.
Do you know why he's attractive to all kinds of individuals? Because he has to be. He's going to take what he can get. You're attracted to what you can get. If you love supermodels, the cover of a magazine, that's what you really like. But you're a 73-year-old man with no money. Do you really think you're going to get those girls? Probably not. Now, if you're a billionaire, you probably can get it. But you're a 73-year-old person, you don't have a job, you don't have money. What are you going to get? Probably 60-year-old girls, 70 and 80 and so on. And so you're going to be attracted to what you can get. You're saying, oh, I love the look of the 73-year-old girls. Do you really? Because if you could go back in time and you found a time machine, the anti-aging serum, you're like Brian Johnson, you reverse time. And you go from being a 73-year-old man, old-looking man, to now you look like Chris Bumstead. Are you going to date a 70-year-old woman? Or are you going to perhaps date someone younger than last time? Be truthful, be honest. You're going to date someone younger.
Growing up, wasn't too confident in myself. And I gained that confidence when I started losing weight. And I noticed it was me putting myself in positions to get more opportunities with women.
And so notice, when he was younger and he lost weight, he gained confidence, he had more ability to get women. Why do you think Brentley G is trying to lose weight? Remember, there was 3 reasons. One of them was so he can have sexy time with hotter girls than last time. When he was in high school and he was in shape playing football, he had no trouble with the ladies. But as he got older, gained several hundred pounds, very difficult to get girls to want to date him.
I don't think it's as subjective as guys are trying to say. Attraction isn't a choice, and there are hardwired traits that women look for in men.
And so regardless of what they say, there are hardwired traits of what they're looking for. For example, example, wider shoulders, a smaller waist. If you are a man and you want to look more physically attractive to a woman, there are very specific things you can do. You can build bigger delts and you can shrink down your waist. If your waist is bigger than your chest, it's not deemed attractive. Perhaps there's 1 in 1,000 girls out there that think it's amazing. You're 600 pounds, that's amazing. But overall, women like the aesthetics. When you have wider shoulders, a smaller waist, for example, the X-frame, it's hardwired to be more attractive.
The reality is that women don't respond well and favorably to these men. There's a reason why nice guys finish last is a thing. It's because when you're too nice and you kind of bend to her will, etc., girls aren't aroused by that.
And so listen, guys, you might think that simping for girls is what they want, but it's not what they want. And when they get you to do that, they're going to find you less attractive. You're thinking, if I do exactly what she tells me to do, if I simp for her, I buy her all the gifts and I do all the things she tells me, she's now going to love me. She's not. She's going to lose interest. She's going to cheat on you. She's going to move on to someone who will not do these things. And so don't change yourself to be what your woman wants. Be yourself, your true, authentic self. Now listen, I'm not telling you to be an asshole, to treat them like shit, to treat them like garbage, but you have to be the true version of yourself.
But they say that because it's politically correct and women tend to not want to be adversarial. They're going to say what sounds good, but what they're actually aroused by are two different things.
But they're married to those guys.
But they're married to those guys, he goes. That's his defense. 50% divorce rate. How's it working? 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. And so you're thinking, oh, but it works. Women are getting married. Are they keeping those wives? They're not. And so think of it. If 50% of marriages are ending divorce, how many are actually staying married, but doing so in misery? They're just going through the motions. They're cheating on their partners.
I'm married.
Sure.
I have a child.
Cool.
I have a beautiful wife. I was this size the entire process through it.
Would you say that you're an average guy?
I would say that
You're
I'm
how
bigger
tall?
than average.
6
Yeah.
He's delusional. He's 6'6" to start with. What percentage of men are 6'6"? It's like, what, 0.1%? It's very rare. And so I was backstage talking to people. I was talking to this guy, and we're talking to other individuals, and he's like, hey, what are you here for? And I'm like, oh, I'm part of the jack guys versus fat guys. And they're like, wow, I can see why you two are the jack guys. And so does he really look the part of being morbidly obese? Yeah, he's obese, but he's 6'6". He does work out a little bit. And so he doesn't quite represent what most people think of when they think of somebody who's morbidly obese.
That
You're
I'm
how
bigger
tall?
than average.
6'5",
Yeah, you're not an average guy.
and a model
You're not
for,
an average
for
guy.
being slightly
I
overweight.
wasn't a model when I started
But
dating
you are
my
a very
wife.
good-looking, tall,
I was a
big
bartender.
guy.
And so we're saying this guy is a model. Look at this guy. He's 6'6", obviously good looking, very attractive, on covers of magazines. Oh, but he wasn't those things when he met his wife. What, was he ugly? Was he 5'6" when he met her? In his 20s? I don't think so. He was always good looking, and eventually they found him, discovered him, and said, whoa, we need you on the cover of a magazine because you're so attractive that even fat people will look at you and buy this clothing.
You mentioned status, and then a lot of people other mentioned confidence. So you even put it in your own pecking order ahead of being jacked or being physically
status, for sure.
attractive.
And so when you're 6'6" tall at a bar and you're looking down on everyone and you're asking a girl out, hey, would you like to dance with me? It's a lot easier to be confident than when you're saying, hey, do you want to dance? Because you know inherently that women are going to want to date somebody most likely taller than them. Doesn't mean that you can't. I've dated plenty of girls in the past that have been taller than me. But obviously, I made up for it in other ways. And so if I were morbidly obese at 5'6" tall, do you think I'm still going to be able to riz the same level of girls as I can if I'm physically fit?
In me losing weight, am I still going to be able to book the jobs that I book? Because I've built an entire brand off of my body.
Let's examine this brand that he's built up. Fat Chuck Bass fashion model. And so he's built up such a brand that he was able to get a photo where he's shirtless in a magazine with 32 comments. And so the reason he's saying he doesn't want to lose weight is because less people will hire him for his brand. He won't be able to promote clothing as well. But how popular is he? Is it really worth taking off perhaps 20 years off your life in order to pose in a magazine and get 32 comments and about 800 likes? And so here he is holding a Slurpee of some sort and 17 comments from 5 days ago. Perhaps if he lost weight, he would have what, 6 likes? Dear Jim, it's been a while since I've seen you. I never thought I'd be saying this, but I miss you and the discipline you have brought into my my life. I'll see you soon, friend. We'll grind even harder than before. Should have said harder than last time. Where is the discipline that came into his life? It hasn't helped him to lose weight. He hasn't been going to the gym in a while. And he says if he loses the weight, he'll perhaps lose his ability to be a fashion influencer. And on that post, 5 comments and 304 likes. I ask you this. Is it worth it? Is the validation you're getting from a couple of followers on Instagram actually worth being morbidly obese, endangering life just to get likes and attention when you're getting 5 comments on a post? I'm going to argue that if he were to lose 200 pounds and get in shape and talk about his transformation, for example, as Brentley's doing, go through a weight loss journey, would that be not more motivational? Would he not have more success? Would he not have more followers? Brantley has over 400,000 followers. Hardly had any followers, met him, he was on a weight loss journey. I would argue he would be way more famous, way more influential, sell way more clothing if he actually went on a weight loss journey. And so what's more motivating that?
What is it for me? Do I want to be skinny? No. Do I want to look like Greg? No. Do I want to look like Myron? No. But I know I want to look like me.
He doesn't have to look like any of us. He wants to look like himself. Okay, look like yourself, you're you, but lose 200 pounds. Is there something wrong with that? Why do you have to be morbidly obese? You weren't born that way. You became that way by eating too much food or perhaps not exercising or both. There's nothing wrong with going on a weight loss journey, and to say I want to keep the same size so that I can model obese clothing, it ain't it. And so if you're trying to get fitter than last time, if you're trying to lose weight, of course we have supplements. For example, GO2 Max, we have Turk Builder. These supplements can in fact make a huge difference in your training. You don't need any supplements, but if you've hit a plateau, if you're no longer a teenager, why not give yourself the best natural advantage to get in the shape of your life? And obviously, if you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to eat, you don't know what diet you can follow, I wrote a book, the Circle Diet book, also these recipes, about 200. You will not believe how satiating these recipes are, how tasty they are, the deliciousness, the size of the meals. You're going to feel fuller than friggin' last time. Code Greg, 15% off. Click the link in the description. And so let me know in the comment section, is there anyone out there that thinks that fat guys are better looking than fit guys? Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it. Watch one of those 2 bloops. And of course, you can get me for coaching plans from me and my team. Also, phone consults. Join the over 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers, as well as get the free, up to 50-page free diet and training program. Head over to my website, code Greg, 15% off. And until next time, I am out.